All right, thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Engineering and You, and don't forget you get to be part of this conversation today. All you need to do is call our phone lines or send a message via our social media handles, and just maybe you might be our winner on the program today. And yes, you stand a chance to win a prize courtesy of our sponsor, Engineer Yemisi Shilon FNSE. Now, I did mention the question of the day, and just for those who are just joining us, I'd like to take the question for the day again. Pick the odd one out: conduction, convection, induction, and radiation. If you know the answer, please do or to call us. Now, today on the program, we are taking a close look at industrial engineering, and we have our guest seated right here with us who is ready to take us through what industrial engineering is. This is where you get every single details about engineering, and if you are an aspiring engineer, you are an engineer in the making, or you are an engineer in practice and profession, this is the program for you. Now, I have joining me Engineer Ayodeji Anikon. Welcome to the program. Did I get your name correctly?
Thank you, Miriam. Yeah, Anikon.
Okay.
Yes, we have something. Thank you for having
so
me.
give us something. We want something on industrial engineering.
All right, absolutely. I'm going to do that. Thank you. So today I intend, taking us through the world of industrial engineering, being an aspect of engineering, is a field in engineering that concerns itself with productivity optimization, process optimization, and enhancing productivity and efficiency while focusing on the human being, in the man-machine relationship. So, as an industrial engineer, what industrial engineer simply, focuses on is to see how processes could be optimized, how processes could be enhanced, with the aim of bringing out efficiency, and while focusing on the human being, who is the key person in the man-machine relationship. So, industrial engineering, simply put, is a field of engineering that focuses on improving systems and process, to achieve optimal performance and cost effectiveness, with the aim of improving the quality of human life. And it is the aim of the quality of human life that is the core aim or the core objective of an industrial engineer. So what an industrial engineer sets out to do is to examine existing process, examine existing conditions or services that is being rendered, with the primary aim of bringing about optimality and improving the productivity in that particular system or in that particular environment. And the goal is to improve the quality of human life. So you can say that as an industrial engineer, what you set out to achieve is to make people's life better, to improve the quality of life. So an industrial engineer is being found in every facet of human life. An industrial engineer could be likened to a problem-solving superhero, whereby they use data, and creativity to streamline processes by optimizing workflows and maximize resources by eliminating wastage. How do I mean by this? For example, I'll take a quick example of, let's say, a bottled water production company or a bottled water production process. For you to get a bottled water, there are a lot of processes, activities that are involved, and an industrial engineer comes in to examine what are the stages. Part of the stages will be to produce the plastic bottles, to wash the bottle, to fill the bottle, to cap it, then finally to pack, and then before you now take to store. So an industrial engineer will come into that process, look at the process, and ask how can that process be optimized, with a view to ensuring that the right quantity at the right quality and at the right time is being gotten from that system. So, for example, if I approach you as a water producing factory, let's say you are able to deliver 1,000 packs of bottled water per hour. An industrial engineer comes in and say, is this the maximum? Is this the optimality that you can achieve? Can it be optimized? Can we rearrange the process in such a way that within an hour you could be able to get up to 5,000 packs of such water, without really compromising quality and without stressing the human being that is involved in that process. And that is why, an industrial engineer basically focus on the human being, that is manning that process. So, for example, in that process of producing the bottled water, the section where the washing takes place might be different. The section where the filling takes place might be different. And industrial engineer comes in and say, what if I bring all these processes together? What if I do the arrangement of this machine in such a way that at the end of the day, I will reduce wastage, I will minimize the time that it takes to produce, and the end result is that I'll be able to maximize resources. Are you using, for 1,000 packs of water, you are using about 20 staffs to produce that. I come in to say, oh, for 1,000 packs of water, if this process is being arranged in this format, and these are the machine arrangements, and the process is being, properly studied and optimized, you don't need, more than, let's say, 5 or 8 staff to actually do this without necessarily stressing those staffs, and they will enjoy what they are doing because of the new process or the new system that will be installed, will be put in place at the end of such process. So industrial engineers find their roles in several sectors of the society. I've just the bottled water I've just given an example of, falls under the category of the manufacturing sector. So what we do basically in the manufacturing sector is to optimize production, and give quality control and also manage the supply chain. The effort that is going to be put in this process, the end result will be in cost saving and exerting that productivity. And when I say productivity, what do we mean? Productivity is just simply saying, the amount of energy you put in, what is the result you get? What is the ratio of the input to the output? So whatever you do in life, you tend to put in some level of effort. So that effort that is being put in, what is the commensurate result that you get from such a system? And that is what we mean by productivity. So how do I ensure that I get maximum output or maximum result from such process? So that is what exactly we're going to do as far as manufacturing sector is concerned. And a good example is that production of bottled water that I've just clearly given account of, I've clearly explained. So we also manage the supply chain, the supply chain. I'll quickly give an instance in that case. What we currently face in the country now, the fuel scarcity, unknown to many. What we are experiencing now is just a symptoms of what has occurred some months back. It's a gap in supply chain, and industrial engineers are actually the one, filling the gap before now to ensure that before what is the national consumption, what do we have in-house, at what point do we need to reorder, so at that point that we need to reorder, that is our reorder point. At what quantity must we have before we say let's place order? What does it take for new order to come in? So when all of that process are being managed effectively, then what you have is the seamless situation we have before this current situation we have. The situation has been solved, but it will take a while before you begin to see the effect. Just like the situation has occurred some months back, that we are just feeling the effect. So these are areas that industrial engineers has actually been playing. You will agree with me that before this scarcity, when all the principles are being applied and they're being followed, there's comfort in the society. People are going about their normal businesses. So that is why we say industrial engineering is a field that brings about human comfort. So we also have the roles of industrial engineers in the X sector, by using the concept and then the theory of queuing models in managing patient inflow and outflow. So that we want to, the aim is to reduce the patient waiting time. How many doctors do you have in the system? What is the rate of flow of patients into that facility? At what rate is what particular patient being attended to? What is the nature of attention that the patient needs? How long will it take for such a patient? So by the time you have an industrial engineer comes in and study the process and the system, you will come up with some alternative method of actually carrying out those processes. There could be several of them. So the aim is to install the one that brings out the maximum productivity. Then you maintain that, and then you now bring in some level of quality control. And so a lot of activities go on, under the healthcare sector. So we also have the impact of industrial engineers in the transportation sector, in the areas of optimizing the transport network, the logistic improvement, and the enhancement of the traffic flow. You might want to go into transport company business, and then let's say, for example, the state wants to deploy in this era of palliative, the state wants to deploy 1,000 buses statewide, and then you still realize that that is not sufficient enough. And by the time you look at it, maybe what is required will be almost 1 million buses, but for lack of fund, that could not be achieved. An industrial engineer can come in and say, how do we deploy these buses in such a way that we can achieve optimality? This area, what is their peak period? What is their off-peak period? So how many buses do I need to deploy in this area? So by the time this other area is in the peak period, then this one is the off-peak period. This is the number of buses I need to withdraw from this. And those are principles and terms that can be applied to make life better for people, And in the aspect of traffic flow too, to say, oh, we have traffic congestion during this period in this axis. Okay, what do we do? Do we open alternative route for this? Do we allow people from moving this place? So all of these things, by the time it is being studied, an industrial engineer comes in and look at how that process can be optimized, can be made better, and the life of people will be better for it. So like I said, quality control is also one of the major functions of an industrial engineer in ensuring product standards, customer satisfaction. So basically, what an industrial engineer does is that in whatever you do, let's say, for example, in production now, you must produce in the right quantity, using in the right specification or the right standard at the right time. I've clearly said that the human being is the focus of the industrial engineer. So the human being alone is not only the man that is in the process of production. The end user too is also being considered, and that is why you see the example of the bottled water that I gave the other time. You will have seen that a typical bottled water has some kind of design. They have different designs. Those designs are not for aesthetics. There's some level of detail that have gone into it. The human being that will consume the water has been considered. How do you handle the bottle? In such a way that you don't necessarily need to use your 2 hands to handle a bottle of water. So there are some patterns on that bottle which are meant to impart strength, and it's meant to give room for grip. These are functions, these are works of industrial engineer to make sure that whatever comes out of an engineering process, is to better or improve the quality of life of the user. So the example I've just given now, clearly sits under, the field of industrial engineering, which are called ergonomics, which is the science of human factor engineering. So this aspect is where we use anthropometric data to come up with designs and invention. The seat we are seated on is not only designed to be the way it is. It's not for aesthetics. The shape that is being, designed with, there's some information, there's some data that informs that, and those data are anthropometric data, the shape of human body, the size of the human body, the average weight of human body. So when all of this information of this data are collected, they are now used in producing products that will improve and better the life of the user. So ergonomics is one of the areas under industrial engineer that is helping to improve productivity, and at the same time helping to provide human comfort. So generally, industrial engineers will prioritize the well-being of the employee, in any workspace by bringing about comfort, safety, at the same time improving productivity. So I've just clearly talked about the supply chain, which I've alluded to, their role, and I've given an example of the first supply in the country, and why there's a gap now, the whole nation is feeling that, So to underscore the importance of industrial engineers in the past, you hardly notice what they are doing, but when there's a gap, you appreciate the function. So now, what do you need to become an industrial engineer? I keep telling people that engineers are not born. Engineers are actually made. You don't need to be a genius before you become an engineer. Engineers are not special beings. It's the knowledge of engineering that makes them special. So anybody can actually become an engineer. The first thing you just need to have is the interest and the passion, to the willingness to solve problem. Once you can solve problem, once you have passion for solving problem in your environment, in the society, then you are fit to become an engineer. So every other thing that you require to become a professional engineer can actually be mastered, So to become an engineer, what is important is the interest, the passion, and then that interest in wanting to solve a problem. If you can solve people's problem, you can never be poor. That is for a fact. And if you have that problem-solving ability, you see people running after you with their resources, and that will bring about prosperity. So industrial engineering is also a field that brings about prosperity. So what you just need basically, aside those on, is to have some good foundation in mathematics, general engineering principle, and like I've said, the problem-solving skills. So to be engineers, whether young or old now, you just need to have some basic or sound foundation in STEM education. And by STEM education, I mean science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. By the time we can equip our young minds with this skill, then we are preparing them to tackle the real world challenges going forward. So we must also encourage curiosity and creativity in young minds, for us to nurture them to become an industrial engineer. By doing this, by fostering a love for problem solving and exploration, so we can inspire the next generation of innovators by the time we encourage them to be curious and to be more creative. So in empowering our future, we need to empower the young generation. We empower the young minds with passion for industrial engineering. It's a key to shaping their, for them for a better future. So in doing that, we must invest, as a nation, as a people, we must begin to invest in STEM education that will provide opportunities for growth, and then we can inspire the next generation of innovative engineers who will drive progress and change our world for good. So to drive home my point now, you will agree with me that industrial engineers are indispensable, in driving efficiency and innovation in every facet of human life. So anything you do that you want productivity, you want optimality, you want human comfort, you want to get the best, then an industrial engineer must play in that field, because they have been equipped with some skills of optimizing systems,
Right.
and solving complex, and complex challenges with the aim of improving human comfort and then quality of life is the main purpose while an industrial engineer set out, to carry out some of these processes. So engineering is
Thank you
good,
so
is lovely,
much.
and then industrial engineering is another field that people should begin to take a look
Honestly,
at.
engineer, if not for your presentation right now, I must not have understand or appreciate industrial engineers like.
Oh.
I am well aware now of what they do in the society, their importance, and permit me to say that a lot of us, when it comes to engineering, especially the non-engineering people, students, or, we always have these civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and electrical engineers.
The traditional engineering.
Yeah, but this industrial engineering is quite interesting, very, very interesting, and I think a lot of people need to explore this branch of engineering, and we have young people watching right now, so it's not just the civil, it's not just the mechanical or engineering. So this industrial engineering, do you go to school to go read it specifically, or you get to study engineering to some level before you get a specification for industrial?
Okay, so two things. So you could put in for industrial engineering from the word go, Okay. So however, not all institutions are offered that as a major course from the under level, But if that is not available, industrial engineer, you can actually specialize in industrial engineering under mechanical engineering. My background, first degree is in mechanical engineering, and by the time I go for my second degree, I majored in production engineering. For my PhD now, I'm majoring in industrial engineering. So it's a field that you can go in right away, and if that is not possible, then you can specialize in it going forward. But the point I'm trying to make is that engineering is not all about the traditional ones we know. You might not have passion for dealing with machines, you might not have passion for fixing electricity or what have you. So there are some aspects of engineering that you can really go into, and then you can make the best of
we're wrapping up now, and we have less than 1 minute to leave the studio. I just want you to motivate those watching right now, especially prospective engineers. As an industrial engineer, tell us that one thing you love so much. that you would not leave for any reason?
Oh, so for me, you must have, decoded from the way I've thought. So the ability to solve problems, to improve the quality of life. We are all, running it as together, doing what we can do to improve our lives. So industrial engineering is that field that helps to achieve that, And for those that are watching, for the young minds, nothing. You can achieve anything if you set your mind to it. So what is important is that you must know what you want in life. Don't stop there. Know what it takes to get that thing. So don't stop there. Be ready to give it what it takes. Finally, give it what it takes. And then you can achieve whatever you want to achieve.
All right. Thank you so much, Engineer Ayodeji and Nikon. Indeed, you gave us something on the program today. I want to say thank you so much for coming. Unfortunately, we couldn't get calls. I think there have been a lot of network glitches and all of that. But yes, we had a question for the day, and we did ask you to call us. The answer to the question of the day is option C, induction. The question for the day is pick the odd one out, and we had conduction, convection, induction, and radiation. And option C happens to be our answer for the day. We did not get your calls, and so we do not have a winner for the day. And then we go with the question for the week. Which object is the smallest? Which object is the smallest? Option A, we have galaxy. Option B, we have planet. Option C, we have star. And option D, we have universe. Well, you can still send us messages via our social media handles, or call us next week, God's willing, where we bring you another engineer of a program, and we discuss the branches of engineering and how important this field, this career is to our everyday lives. Don't forget, Engineering and You is brought to you by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSE. He is the reason why you see this program every Friday. My name is Miriam Usman. I'll see you next week, God willing, with another engineer. Until then, bye for now.